My work ethic, which I adopted both from my father and mother, is always about doing the right thing.
He has this vision and leadership quality for other people.
Well, first, he's a wonderful friend. You know, I would say that first.
He's somebody, all of a sudden there's somebody new in the office. And who's that? Oh, it's some person I met that is in the arts, or some person who's young in business, and he just helps them out.
He and David, his father, would be out on Saturday morning scouring the neighborhoods.
In 1950, my dad and Lou Sapira bought a property west of Clark Street, and everybody said, "What are you thinking about doing west of Clark? Don't you know the world ends there?"
I used to accompany my dad on Saturdays, and we would usually stop off at David C. Ruttenberg's apartment to begin our tour of buildings.
We would, my dad and I, visit various sites together, and I would just love spending Saturdays with him.
He and Buzzy had an amazingly close relationship.
Slowly, Dad kind of expanded the definition of what was an okay place to be.
They really became pioneers in the Lincoln Park and extended areas of Chicago.
I always had a feeling that the old town in Chicago could be like the village in New York.
We've built somewhere around 2,000 homes in the city of Chicago in our time together.
He is always thinking ahead about what's going to happen, what's the real estate market, what's the financial market, what are people's tastes.
Nobody built a 4+1 with one-to-one parking, and Buzz built the first one.
All these little steps that we've done throughout the communities add to a bigger whole, which is the city of Chicago.
Probably my favorite project was the 600 Lakeshore Drive project.
He gave people who couldn't afford $1 to $5 million apartments the opportunity to live on the lake, to see the lake.
And it does represent, or did, the last vacant parcel on the lakefront on the north side of Chicago. And because there's two towers here, it's kind of like our two dads. And there's really symbolic for us to be able to say that this is probably
David and Lou.
David and Lou. Here they are at 600 Lakeshore Drive. I grew up with a culture of community and commitment, and whether that be to improving the housing or giving money back to an orphanage or not-for-profit.
And the other thing is his involvement in the arts. I'm sure it's been talked about, but he's a collector, and his father was a collector, and they've been very generous with donating pieces of art and collections to the Art Institute.
I volunteer my time and have appeared as a speaker and a participant in dialogues for many of the younger groups focusing on real estate here in Chicago.
Plus, he's a very solid guy with solid values, and he's, as I said, he's the best.
Buzz and I both learned from our dad that it was very important to be aware of people, to give back to your community.
Dad was feeding me. He named me Buzz. And he'd put the spoon in, I'd spit it out. And he'd put it in, I'd spit it out, and he said, "Quit buzzing around." And so it stuck, because I'm still, to this very day, buzzing around.